5 years of extreme drought in southern Madagascar have deepened a chronic food crisis. Today, 1.3 million people are severely food insecure. Some are only one step away from famine. Over 20,000 children are acutely malnourished. The dry regions of southern Madagascar have turned as green as they could possibly be again. While traveling towards Belua, one of the districts most hit by drought, we understood that this was the first consistent rainy season for 5 years. In spite of that, a whole population of farmers is still suffering from the effects of drought. They are waiting for the crops to grow, brought to their knees with nothing to eat. Cash distribution has become the most effective way to help residents until the next harvest.
I use this money to buy food for my children. During the dry season, my children and I eat only red prickly pears for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
The World Food Programme, financed by EU Humanitarian Aid, is supporting hundreds of thousands of people in 2 districts. Each family receives 70,000 ariary per month, the equivalent of around 17 euros for 5 months. The UN agency has managed to join forces with the national social protection system, allowing to reach more people more effectively.
Le PAM s'est proposé de toucher
WFP aims to support around 846,000 beneficiaries. Therefore, 80% of the population are affected by drought. With what we have at our disposal, we have now reached around 500,000 people.
The cash families receive is meant to provide them with half of the food they would need each month, considering they can provide the other half by themselves. For Delina, it's the only way she can afford to buy rice and meat more regularly for her 5 children, one of whom has been suffering from malnutrition.
We were forced to sell one part of our plot. I started selling clothes and tools. I continued like that until I had given everything away, even my clothes. What I am wearing now was lent to me. With the cash I'm receiving, my family is starting to recover.
The EU started financing WFP in 2016, following the drought and food crisis induced by El Niño. This is how Europe set up a cash transfer system that can be quickly triggered in case of an emergency.
Last October, when we realised the extent and the severity of the crisis, the EU unblocked €2 million, which allowed WFP to organise a cash transfer in December and another one in January for the poorest populations and the most hit districts.
Is it possible to break the chronic pattern of this food crisis?
Madagascar has recurrent crises. It's possible to anticipate them. We need to link the humanitarian sector to development actors so that they can give the population the means to become more resilient to these climate hazards.
The direct consequence of a population in severe food shortage is the high number of malnourished children. The health center of Nicoli is among some 200 establishments backed by UNICEF with EU funds. There are dozens of patients here like Jean-Aimé, 17 months old and 5 kilos, half the normal weight of a child of his age.
We follow them for 8 weeks. If they don't get better, they are referred to the intensive food recovery.
Last year, staple crop production decreased by 60%, contributing to long-lasting effects on the population. The rate of childhood stunting is among the highest in the world.